Hello everyone. Hi, I'm Dr. Ola Mihalec, and I'm a researcher on the Power2 project, where we trying to understand the idea of disruptive innovation in smart energy systems. The project is based at the University of Bristol. I am working with Professor Awais Rashid. Our user partners are Ofgem, so the UK energy regulator, and Scouts, IoT consultancy, which works internationally, and also as of recently, Energy Systems Catapult, again a UK-based organization which tries to stimulate innovation landscape in here. Next slide, please. And actually, one slide after as well. Next one as well. Cool. So let me first outline the policy landscape of the problem that we're working with. So we're very much interested in the idea of smart energy innovations, and both from the cyber perspective, but also physical perspective. And as you can see on the slide, there's quite a lot of things happening here. So we've got a lot of policy and industry instruments being now co-created. So from the NIST regulations, which is the EU directive, to ETSI standards, which is the product standards for home security, British standards for past standards for EV chargers, to Ofgem guidances for how to deal with sharing data and the data digitalization energy system. So as you can see, the units of analysis are different. It could be a product, could be a sector, could be a part of a sector, it could be a regulation, so something we have to comply with, or it could be something which is industry driven, so something which is voluntary. So the whole landscape is quite messy, and it's quite challenging to really figure out what is the future of regulation. That's all we know so far, that there will be definitely a need for new regulatory functions and possibly new regulators. And in this project, we're trying to figure out who exactly needs to do what to assure decent level of cybersecurity and safety in those energy and smart systems. Next slide, please. And similarly, when it comes to how we talk about cybersecurity, I think we could come up with some interesting critiques. So the idea of disruption is something that we would like to take critically. So what does it mean when we say that innovation is disruptive? We want to take a critical look on the whole concept, because it implies something which is both a commercial success, but also a major societal shift. So idea of disruption evokes a sense of inevitability, imaginaries out of date, market niches, which just wait to be transformed. Disruption implies that a lot of things can be just magically put into place with the introduction of the single but radically different product. But we're wondering, is this the accurate representation of the dynamics of innovation, how actually these systems and products are formed? How can we as researchers take into account better concepts like scientific uncertainty, regulatory needs, or market complexities? So here we want to construct this hype in energy system and hype with cybersecurity with new alternative framing. So we're very much careful of how innovations are hyped up. So in energy systems, sometimes people equate decentralization with democracy, and these things cannot be taken for granted. Or perhaps in cybersecurity, people are scaring audiences with the worst case but unlikely scenarios just to get funding. So hype as a tactic is really good for getting your funding, but it's not a great informational environment. So the whole project is about how we can have better conversations about regulations or risks needed in cybersecurity of energy systems. Next slide, please. So just to brief you a little bit about what we've been doing in the project, we have started in spring this year and are now reaching the end of data collection stage. So data collection comprises of interviews and workshops with the practitioners in the sector. So these could be people like regulators, lawyers, innovators of flexibility platforms or EV charging systems. So essentially people who work in that practice, and many of them are cybersecurity people, but some of them aren't. So we're very much interested in this area, this idea of how to translate these technical requirements into operational concerns of the whole business. So how can we just talk about cyber beyond the technical language? And and when it comes to results, we will present them in early 2022. It's not a great practice to kind of come up with people with preliminary results when they're not quite published yet. So I'm going to be quite careful with my words here, but definitely happy to take some questions in the Q&A. Next slide, please. I also wanted to let you know about our sister project, which we got an Impact Accelerator funding for. So this is a Smart Lens, Smart Local Energy System Visualization. So this is a art commission when we hired an illustrator to co-design illustrations around the energy systems future. So how can we communicate the idea of, say, energy flexibility or peer-to-peer transfers, or perhaps smart meter implementations? How can we communicate these issues to the public? So this is something that we now are working on now with our local illustrator, the Council of Ofgem, and we'll produce a set of open source, free to use for everyone artwork. So very much happy to share them with everyone once they're ready. So just let me know. And next slide, please. And next slide, please. I might not mention that. And I think that's it from me, really. So this is a bibliography of all my work done on previous projects. If you like to take a look at our previous results, I'm happy to attach the slides in the chat. And the next one. And finally, a call to action for you all. So I am still looking for security experts for interviews on smart energy innovations. Early next year, we will be interviewing people on the future of the NIS directive. So again, if this is something that you're involved with, I'd like to hear from you. We will be writing an agenda paper with a range of interdisciplinary scholars around the future of energy systems digitalizations. And finally, if you would like to use the artwork in your own practice, please also let me know, and I'm happy to speak to you about it. So that's it for me. Thank you very much. I'll try to whiz through all my slides.